Does any home gardener really need hundreds and hundreds of packets of seeds? I have a pretty big garden, but seriously, as I look at the seed packages I have and a couple dozen jars of seeds I've saved, I think this is a little crazy. Join me today as I show you how to do a seed audit to figure out what you have, what you need, and maybe more importantly, what seeds you don't need. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and I have to admit I might be a seed addict. Even though I know I have plenty of seeds, it's hard to stop buying more seeds. Like this recent bug out seed bag that I got. There's 34 seed packages in here. Now granted, I wanted to do a review and a video about a bug out bag of seeds, but so many of these are seeds that I already have. And that's an important reason why you should consider doing a seed audit. Every year, as the catalogs start pouring in and as you go to the nursery and your local stores and see the seed displays appear, you start seeing things that you want to grow. The problem is, for some of us who have this many seeds, almost every time I buy one of those seed packages and bring it home, I find out that I already have that package. And now I have duplicates and more seeds than I need of that particular variety. So every year I suggest you sit down, you take a look at your seeds, take a pad of paper, pen and pencil, and start making a list of what you want to grow, what you need to grow, and maybe based on the last season, what you're not going to grow anymore. This audit ties in very closely with your normal gardening plan. So I know I'm going to grow tomatoes and cucumbers. I know I'm going to grow pumpkins and yellow squash. These are plants that I grow every year. But this year, I didn't have much success with okra. I rarely do. So in the questionable category for next year, I'm going to put okra. I don't know that I'm going to try it again. I want to grow gourds, but I haven't had success with that either. So I think I'm going to put gourds in the questionable category for next year. I want to grow a lot of corn, but I don't have that bed ready to go yet. So I'll put corn in the questionable category. How you choose to categorize these basic types of garden plants should be specific to your garden. That's why okra and gourds are on my questionable list, because I have a pretty short growing season. So everything has to go perfectly for me to have success with those plants. And with the crazy weather of the last couple years, my season just hasn't supported those plants. So this next year, I think I might focus on different types of plants and maybe try the okra and gourds in another year. That's how you have to look at this as well. What did you have success with and why? And do you want to grow those plants again? Or what plants didn't work in your garden and why? And you have to decide, are you going to attempt to grow those plants again, or maybe put them off for a few years until you learn how to do it better or develop the beds and the support for those plants specifically. And then when you have a basic idea of the types of plants that you want to grow, now you can start looking at the seed packages you have to see if they fall within one of those categories. I have a head start on this because I have a pretty good system. I've already identified the plants that I typically grow in a garden season, and I have this system where I put my seed packages in those categories. I have another video that shows how I organize my seeds using a container like this in addition to these plastic bins and cardboard boxes. It's important that you have some type of system of organization so that when you do an audit, you can get all your seeds together relatively easily in one place. Problem I have is I can't put all of my seeds in this container. And once I open the package and use it during the growing season, well, I set up these boxes of opened packages. How do you organize those? How do you determine which ones of those you're going to use? That adds a whole nother level of organization. And as you acquire new packages of seeds, well, which box do they get put into? So you can see the confusion starts developing as soon as you get your very first packet of seeds. That's why it's important to try to have some type of organization system, because now I can sit down with all of my seeds and go through them in a relatively orderly manner. So let's go ahead and choose one that is a common plant in my garden, and I have them in a couple different places. I'll go through my tomato seeds and show you some of the other considerations as I move forward with this seed audit. After laying out all my tomato packages, I have about 20 different varieties of seeds that I've grown in the last couple years. And this is where the seed audit or the seed analysis really begins and where it gets interesting. You have to decide for yourself the priorities of different factors. I'll start with black krim. Many of you know that black krim is my favorite tomato. Well, I have 3 sources of black krim tomatoes. I have some Baker Creek seeds, I have some Seed Savers Exchange seeds, and I have some black krim seeds that I saved from my tomatoes this year. Do I really need all 3 sources? The wise answer is no. I can move forward with just one source, but which ones do I give up? At this point, let's go ahead and look at some of the factors involved when we talk about saving seeds. These Seed Savers Exchange seeds were packaged for the growing year 2020. These Baker Creek seeds were packed for the growing year 2019. Generally, newer seeds will be more viable than older seeds. You'll get better germination. So if I were to choose one of these to get rid of, I'd choose the Baker Creek because it's older. But because I have some seeds that are less than a year old, well, it makes sense to keep the newest seeds and get rid of both of these older seeds. When I look at a variety like this Kellogg's Breakfast, I've got 3 different packages of Kellogg's Breakfast tomatoes. One from 2019, 2 from 2020. So again, it would make sense to get rid of the older seeds first. But in this case, I don't think I'm going to be growing Kellogg's Breakfast tomatoes again. They did okay in my garden this year, and I had great success with growing them in the greenhouse years ago. But the space in my garden can be used for more important varieties, ones that I think will do better and I'll enjoy more, because I can't grow 20 different types of tomatoes. As big as my garden is, I'm just not going to put in that many tomato plants. So out of these 3, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 2 of them, and I'll store one away so that if I choose to grow Kellogg's Breakfast tomatoes again, I'll have a package in storage. But there's no reason to save all 3 for a possibility of growing this tomato again. And so that's how I'll approach the rest of this. As I go through, Berkeley Tie-Dye is another tomato that I've tried growing for a number of years, and I've only gotten a handful of fruit. So this goes into the category of I'm not going to be growing it this next year, but I'll go ahead and save the package for the possibility that I will at some point in the future. Some of these other seeds, for instance, here's a hybrid tomato. It's got just numbered. It doesn't have a particular name that I received for free because of the seed order that I had done. Well, there's no reason to save this because after growing it this year, I really have no intention of ever growing it again. So this goes into the pile of seeds that I'm just going to get rid of. There's no reason to save it. This seed analysis doesn't need to take a long time. Sun sugar, I'll grow it again. I've only got one package. This numbered hybrid, nope, it's going in the discard pile. Lemon drop, I'll grow it again, but I saved some of the seeds, so that package can go away. This package of black vernissage, didn't really like the tomato. It's gone. Bison, same thing. Does okay in my area. Really don't like the flavor that much. It's gone. Glacier, I'll probably go ahead and save these seeds. Does well in the cold weather, but not this next year. Gold Nugget, I've got 2 packages. No reason to save both. One of those is going to go. Sun Gold, gonna grow it again. I'll save that package. The same with Sun Peach. Super Sweet 100, I may grow it this next year, but I certainly don't need 2 packages. One of those is going to go. This Umberto pear, nope, didn't like it. It's gone. The same with the Salvaterra Select. Paul Robeson is a great tomato, but I've got 2 packages. Only one of those is going to stay. As I look at these Gold Nugget seed packages, they're the same year, the same type of seed, and trying to figure out which one to get rid of, I'll go ahead and actually look at the seed package. Now, while the MI Gardener seed package has quite a bit of good information about the seed and how to plant it, the Territorial seed package has a lot more information. So especially for new gardeners, I would encourage you to keep the package that tells you more about the plant and how to sow those seeds than this one. So I'll go ahead and put this in the discard pile and save this package. So now I've whittled down that big pile of 20 varieties and many duplicates into 10 packages. And these 10 packages fit very well into my storage system. And that's it. That's basically what I need to do to get a really good handle on my abundance of seeds. But of course, now this means I've got space to get more seeds. Because this seed audit also showed me which seeds I don't have. And I already have some ideas of plants to grow this next year, like this Mountain Merit hybrid. And it was suggested that I grow this Sun Chocolat cherry tomato. And so it's easier to avoid some of that duplication once you know what you already have. And so as I go through the catalogs and choose all the wonderful seeds that I'm going to grow, one of my favorite activities in winter, I feel pretty comfortable that I'm not going to get something that I already have. But there does need to be some discipline with this. That's why I had so many duplicates, even from the same year. Is as I would go through catalogs or I'd be online, I would just go ahead and keep adding to my shopping cart with little regard to what I already had in my storage system. So I found the Mountain Merit tomato seed in this Seeds and Such catalog. Well, it's also in this High Mowing seed catalog as well. So I'll probably be ordering from both companies. I need to make sure that I don't order that same variety of seed from both. I need to choose one or the other. And that holds true with all of the seeds that I'm going to get. So develop that system, not just of the storage, but of the planning as well. And part of that planning involves the buying. Make sure you're not doing duplicate buying because you'll run into the same problem that I ran into, having to go through a seed audit and figure out what to get rid of and what to keep. And about these that I'm getting rid of, I'm not going to throw them away. I think that's terrible, the idea of throwing seeds away. So I'll go ahead and offer them up to my family and my friends and my neighbors because I have grown all of these seeds and I can speak to them personally. Or If your area has a seed library, that can also be a great option. There are many public libraries that have a section set aside for seeds so that gardeners can check out seeds and grow them in their garden. And then you save those seeds and donate back to the seed library, or donate some of your old packages to the seed library. So I would encourage that you check that out. Avoid throwing away the seeds. You can get rid of them from your garden planning, but some gardener out there is probably going to want some of these seeds. That's why this whole seed audit really needs to be specific to your garden, the plants you want, and the ones that you really don't want anymore. Do a seed audit. You'll save some space to buy a lot more, so you have to do it all again next year. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.